In this lesson, we're going to turn the landscape that you see here into day by working with a few effects. And we're also going to create a scene, meaning that we're going to add a few more elements that can perfectly display a peaceful landscape during night and then transition into day. So we have 4 projects, 2 projects and 2 files in your resource pack. This is what we have. We have 2 projects, 2 files. So let's have a look at the project. This is the first one. There's a lot of layers. These are each for the separate elements. So each of the trees are separate, each of the bushes are separate, and we are going to animate each and every single one of these to make a really nice landscape. Then we have a deer that we're going to place in that landscape, make the deer walk. So we will be applying the walking techniques that we used on the human example onto this. And then we also have a reference picture for how animals walk. So this is really helpful. Or just any 4-legged animal. The way that they bend their foot is different from the way that they bend their leg, actually, is very different from how humans bend their leg. So we're going to have to use this to make sure that we're making the deer take steps naturally. And then finally, we have a night sky photo, which we'll just use to decorate the night sky in our landscape composition. All right, let's go back to the first landscape. So for this lesson, we will have to cut this into parts too. So first part would be the landscape itself, animating the elements, making them move around, making the sun go up and down. Second part will be the deer. We need to make it walk. First, it's going to stand there, maybe move its head a bunch, and then it's going to walk away. That's the second part. Third part, we would just have to decorate the landscape. First, turn it from night to day, and then add some additional elements like the stars that we saw in that photo. So let's go ahead and get started. We have a lot of layers to work with. Let's expand our timeline. And we have to just color code and rename a few things. So I've named these ones here, but these guys are all the bushes. So just go until the last bush. This is a tree, so I know from layer 9 to 19, they're all bushes. You can see it right here. So we know that from 9 to 19, they're all bushes. I'm going to just get the color and make them maybe orange. Then we have 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. These are all trees. Let's make them green. Come down here, we have the ground, and this is going to be independent. We're not going to move the ground. The water, we'll do some wiggly lines. So there's like a little wind and it's moving, creating little waves. The mountains is also independent. We're not going to move the purple layers. We will move the sun because it has to go down and then come up. We have 3 clouds, which we can simply select and add another color to. Then finally, we have the sky, which we will not move. It will just stay in place. All right, after we've done this, we're going to bring this guy down, zoom into our timeline, and first adjust the anchor points. Okay, so for the anchor points, we're mainly working with the trees because we want them to shake left and right. So get each of the trees, we can solo them by pressing this. Get the anchor point tool and just bring this guy at the bottom. It's okay if it's outside of the composition, just the bottom of the work. Select that again to get out. Select the other one. Click on it, get the anchor point, place it there. Solo each of the layers that need to that we need to change the anchor point of. And just do that. We also have to do this for the bushes. Anything that we want to move, we would want to put it down there. That was the bush. This one, we can bring it there. Got another one here. Solo that, goes down. It's okay if it's not on the illustration. Just put it here so they move from one angle. All right, this was our last layer. So now all of these anchor points are set. We're not going to be moving anything else. So all you have to change are the trees and the bushes. Okay, let's start with the bushes. Select the first layer, come down. Just select all the orange layers. Hit R, come in the beginning of your timeline, turn on their stopwatch, and then we're just gonna add maybe 10 degrees so they go that way. And then we're going to make it 0 degrees. So they're gonna just move that way and then come back this way. Okay, so let's loop all of these. Gonna alt click, loop out this whole thing because we want this to, the windy bushes to just be as they are even when it's day. So throughout the whole composition, we want these bushes to just keep moving left and right. You alt click on the stopwatch, get the property right here in the sky, property, loop out duration, click away, make sure you click away. Okay, we applied the loop out duration to all of the layers. And now if we play it back, it's going to just move even after the keyframe. So you can see they're just moving that way. And that's that. So let's select all the layers, the bush layers, hit M to close the properties. Okay, so to offset these ones, we have to just simply take a few, let's click away, take a few and just move them that way. So we're just moving some backwards, and as you can see, they're changing their direction, and that's like different from all the other ones. I'm not really seeing that because of the tree, so just focus on the ones that we can see. Okay, so now some of them are going to move differently. You can see this one's going that way, this one's going the other way. And now we are done with the bushes. So let's get to the trees. Again, mainly focusing on the ones that we can't see. Let's solo this tree, go in the beginning of the timeline, get the puppet pin tool, make one at the bottom, one pin at the bottom, another one in the center where the trunk would be, and another one at the top. Not the tip, just somewhere around here. Okay, and then we're going to open up mesh 1, deform. I guess we didn't make a pin here. Let's zoom in so we can put a pin at the bottom. Okay, we want a pin right here. So in puppet pin 3, or the pin that's at the bottom, just go in it and turn off position. We do not want this to move at all. Then we can simply go up, turn on the mesh refinement, and go in maybe 1 second. Let's go to 2 seconds. And then we're going to open up the puppet pin 2 and puppet pin 1, make a keyframe for both, and then go back to 1, the 1 second. So it's the original position here, in the middle. We're going to make the movement. Just move it that way. You can move this one a bit to the right. So it's going to be normal, and then slightly it's going to turn there, and then it's going to go back. You can go to 3 seconds and just make it go the other way if you want. And this one we can make it go a bit to the side. At 4 seconds, let's copy the first 2 keyframes one by one. Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V. So it's going to just really slightly do a little wiggle. We're indicating that it's windy. And because this is the tree closest to us, it needs to have more movement. Okay, Alt click on these ones and add the same property. We're not adding the property to the bottom keyframe because we didn't even turn on the stopwatch. So we're only doing that for these two, and now they're just going to continuously move left and right. Because we start with the original position and end with the original position, it's going to loop. So that was that. Let's do the same thing for all the other trees. Got one down here. And now you have the chance to just do things differently for each of the layers, so you don't have to offset them later. Make a pin down here. It's not really important because it's not even in the frame. We can make another one here just in case, and just one up here. Come down to, just hit U on the mesh one. And for this one, I'm not going to add a middle one. Puppet pin 1, I believe. Okay, that's puppet pin. Okay, turn off the position for puppet pin 1, or this one, the one at the bottom. Make a keyframe for the second one, which we already did. Come in 2 seconds, make another keyframe. 4 seconds, another keyframe. Come in between, so 1 second. We made the first tree go this way, so we're gonna do the opposite for that. Don't worry about this, we'll fix the position later. It's gonna come back. And then here, let's just move it the other way. So this is gonna just move in that way, then come back this way. If you want, you can add some space or make it move quicker. I'm gonna add some space to mine. Just do that. So now it's going to move a lot slower than it did. All right, again, Alt click. Like we said, you have to loop out everything if you want a single animation throughout the whole video. Okay, and let's solo this again. Hit P on this, and without turning on the stopwatch, let's just move it down. So now once it moves, we're not showing the bottom. Okay, that was the second tree. I'm not gonna do it to all the trees. I feel like it would be a bit too fake. Maybe we can do it to this one and leave the rest be. We're gonna get the puppet pin tool, make one at the bottom. This one's a big tree, so we need a middle one. And one at the top. Hit U on mesh 1. Turn off puppet pin 1. Move into 2 seconds. Make a keyframe, 4 seconds. Make a keyframe. So the bigger the tree gets, the slower the movement. So you could even scale this out to 6 seconds, or you could just make the movements really slight. Let me solo this layer. It's confusing to look at all the similar colors. Move it really slowly. This one stays as it is. You can just make a keyframe. 3 seconds. Let's slowly move it to the other side. Make another keyframe for the bottom. Or we could just turn this off because we didn't move it. Alt click on the one that you did move and make it loop. There we have it. So now the trees are done. We only made the movements go on some of them and not all. And it's really slight. Because the grass is thinner than trees, it's going to move more. So that's that. I'm also gonna crop my composition to, I guess, 8 seconds. So hit Control K or Command K. Turn this to, instead of 10, make it 8. So now because the bushes, we offset them. Now it's just gonna, the movements are going to be there until the end. Let's hit this to fit. Have a look at the other things that we want to edit. We have the clouds as well. Select all 3 clouds, come in the beginning, hit P, turn on their stopwatch. Move into maybe 2 seconds, I guess. You have to decide how long you want the night sky to be and at what point you want it to transition into day. So I'm going to keep the night sky for 3 seconds. So come to 3 seconds and get each of the clouds and just maybe make one of them go up, maybe make this one go this way. So it's like the sky is clearing. Get the third cloud and just maybe make this one go back as well. We could make it go down a little bit. So very slowly these clouds are also gonna kind of clear out so we don't have a foggy night. And we could just even make them go higher. Gonna make this guy go out completely at 4 seconds. Let's make this guy disappear too. Delete the previous one. And this one too. You could keep them if you want. I'm just gonna get rid of them. So very slowly these 3 clouds are going to clear out and it's going to turn into day at 3 seconds. So by 4 seconds, they're completely gone. So for this one, we're not going to alt click because after they disappeared, we just don't want them to be there anymore. So there's no alt clicking for the clouds. The sky stays the same. I recommend locking the sky so you don't move it or apply any other element. Also lock ground and mountains. These are the 3 things that are not going to move no matter what. Now for the sun, let's hit P. The sun is a circle. Make sure yours is a circle too. Don't worry about the color too much. We're going to just move this down so it's a night sky all the way, maybe 2.5 seconds. Make another keyframe. At 3 seconds, we're going to make this slowly appear from behind the mountains. You can keep it a little bit behind them. Put this back. The clouds are going to clear and then the sun is going to appear. It's a little fast. Let's extend the time. Here I want it to come out slowly. Still fast. Extend this. We delete the keyframe here. Go for 4 seconds. So it's going to look like that. I'm going to bring this at 2, bring this one at 5. So we have some moments of the night landscape and then it's going to make its way up and it will be morning. Okay, easy ease both keyframes, hit F9, hit M on that, and we are done with the basics of this landscape. We animated the easy ones. You can add or remove as many elements as you want. One more element that I wanted to add was the stars. So we're going to go on top of sky and get our night sky image, place it on top. You can see we have a night sky image. Call this stars. Okay, on stars, we're just going to hit T and lower the opacity. There we are. And now we just have a little star. About the scaling, I feel like it's a bit too extended. So just make it smaller by 25%. You can move around and see what part looks better. I'm gonna keep that. And now we have the stars. Hit U on star. Around right here when we start to see the tip, we're going to hit T on star, turn on the opacity, and just make it disappear as the sun appears in, and then make it 0 so it disappears. So it's 38% here. And then as the sun comes up, it's going to completely disappear. You make it a little fast, hit F9. Have a look at that star. There we are. All right, so we're done with the basic elements. You could go ahead and add a color key for the star. But because we already had a bluish sky, all we had to do was to remove the opacity. So this is it for part 1 where we did the basics. I'll see you guys in the next part where we go for the deer.